Sri K.R. Suresh Reddy.
Thank you, Madam Vice Chairman. The time allocated to our party, Madam, we'll try to share it amongst our members.
20 minutes.
On behalf of the BRS Parliamentary Party, we thank the Honorable President, Srimati Draupadi Murmu Garu, for her address. And we also take this opportunity to congratulate Shri Om Birla Garu for being elected as the Honorable Speaker of Lok Sabha. I, on my behalf, thank you for giving me this opportunity. And we appreciate the Honorable Prime Minister for graciously introducing his Council of Ministers to this August House. Madam, the election results reflected the pluralistic character of our nation. If I need to say on what the verdict for the NDA says, it clearly indicates that some promises have not been met, aspirations totally not fulfilled, but confidence not lost. When I look towards the India group, we get a feeling that the verdict says the depleting strength will stop, dependence will increase, continue to fight, and your day will come. The dance of democracy was quite visible, whoever coined it, because every party, every political party celebrated this wonderful election. Madam, since we are still under cricketing forever, if I need to put it in a cricketing analogy, the batsman who's got out on 99 gets a lot of sympathy. The sympathy given to the batsman is to perform better, not to be discouraged, and definitely in the next innings, you will score your century. So continue to play hard. And then to the batsman who hit a double century, they say, well played, but still you fell short by 32 runs. So overconfidence may not do well, but thanks to the DLS method, the Duckworth-Lewis method, you won the match. But don't always pray for a rainy day, because you need to continue to work with the commitment what you have promised. Madam, between both the groups, then there is a third non-aligned group like us. We don't look this side, we don't look that side, but we try to give constructive suggestions this side, and we try to support them whenever we feel something goes wrong there. A lot of people felt that since we lost the elections, we have no role to play. But we were not born to win elections. Regional parties like us, we were born to fulfill the aspirations of our region. We were born to fight for the cause of the people. Our strength might deplete or increase, but our struggle for our region will continue, and our responsibility towards the nation through our interventions in this House will continue, Madam. I've seen since morning the Honorable Chair looking left, looking right, struggling to find some peace. जब left right नहीं चलता है तो सामने देखिए, we are there for the chair. We are there to support the chair. It's not that we have a big number, but we can assure you that we will never be a pressure group, but it will always be a pleasure to work with. Madam, the speech started off speaking about the Constitution. It said in the speech, even after the Constitution came into force, it was attacked many times. It was attacked many times. Unfortunately, it continues to be attacked. And to quote examples, ma'am, the biggest challenge in this polity today is, according to us, is the anti-defection. We have seen honorable members swearing in the name of Constitution. We have seen the ruling party talking about the Constitution, and we have heard the debates of how the Constitution is violated through anti-defections. It happened in Maharashtra yesterday. They were blaming this side, and now today it is happening in Telangana, and they are responsible for it. So the time has come where anti-defection needs a fresh look. When the Parliament and the legislatives, with the responsibility bestowed upon them to tackle the issue, is not handled or it's not taken in the right course, then we see the court's intervention. We have seen intervention in the High Courts, we have seen the Supreme Court intervening. I am not a lawyer by profession, neither have I read much law, because I was always influenced. I started my political legislative career at a young age, at 27, and I was always inspired by the Honorable Speaker's words, who always said and advised that applying common sense is the best method to move forward in this House. So I'm not really a guy who really looks into the legality, but after seeing this, the anti-defection issues cropping up very frequently and going to the Supreme Court, and I was reading about the Supreme Court's observation and judgment invoking Article 142, say in the case of Manipur, a member gets elected from one party, joins the other party, becomes a minister. If the matter goes to the Honorable Chair, they don't decide. So the matter has to go to the Supreme Court, which had to invoke 142 to settle the issue. 142, I believe, is what they call it complete justice. Complete justice happens there when the total failure happens here. We talk of judicial activism, but we should also realize legislative realism, the responsibility bestowed upon us. When we do not discharge, then these things happen. It is happening today. We have seen in Telangana, madam, a legislator got elected on one party, and 2 months later in Lok Sabha election, he contests from the other party. And when we go to the Honorable Chair, they do not respond. So the only method left is to go back to the court. Well, I can definitely name the parties. The matter is not naming the parties. It is the attitude which needs to change. It is this august House which has to rise to the occasion. When the Constitution has so clearly defined, given the provisions, given you the authority to decide, we have not decided. Madam, I need to say that this is especially happening in the 75th year of our Republic, when we are celebrating our Constitution, and this matter is not something new. It has been happening for a while. It happened in Manipur, it is happening in Telangana, it happened earlier in Goa, it happened in Uttar Pradesh. It's been happening. And various recommendations have come in, and I would like to take the opportunity to put forward before the House the various committees. The National Commission to Review the Working of the Constitution noted the defection flaws. They observed it, we didn't act on it. The Dinesh Goswami Committee on Electoral Reforms advised, we did not apply our mind on that. The Halim Committee report on review of anti-defection recommended specifically the term voluntarily giving up the membership. They wanted a very specific, clear definition of the term, because that is the term which is expanded, interpreted in many ways. So that was recommended, it was not done. The Law Commission of 2015 recommended the power to decide should vest with the President or Governor, who should act on the advice of the Election Commission. So the Law Commission probably felt that the legislator is not acting, so time to move it out of it and then get it to the Governor or the Honorable President. Then we have seen the Supreme Court of 2020. The anti-defection does not specify a time limit for Speaker or Chairman, that the disqualification petitions which need to be decided. So they felt that 3 months should be the period for which it has to be decided. And that time was given to the Honorable Speaker, I think in Manipur, which was not followed, ultimately led to Article 142 coming into play there. Anti-defection has not only been India's concern, madam, it has been a concern in the Commonwealth, it has been a concern in the IPU. So whenever conferences are being held, there has been a debate, and it is the chair's intervention during one of the Commonwealth conferences that a committee was constituted. And the committee, which was headed by Mr. Malhotra, they submitted a report way back, I think, in 2005, madam. And from 2005 to now, we have not much moved in the direction as per the recommendations. And last but not the least, and the most important, was the Congress manifesto of 2024, which said that the 10th schedule amendment would be done and automatic disqualification will be coming into play. While they said it, it is most welcome. Having said that, within a month, the same party has violated it. Congress party today, Kharge pointed out of how the government, the BJP government, has been making small states governments fall. But here we are seeing the Congress party kind of making the oppositions weaken and devouring the opposition regional parties. Now this, in my view, speaks of double standards, and this, in my view, should be looked into. There's another major issue which has been in front of our country, has been the pre-poll alliances. We've seen the NDA, we've seen the India group fighting pre-poll alliances. Now, in the anti-defection, once you fight as a pre-poll alliance, then definitely you need to stick to even post-poll, because the mandate given is for pre-poll. So this is my view. Now legally, and as and when the committees come up, they need to look into these matters, madam, which is very, very critical. Now, how does the world look towards India? The world doesn't see India only as a 5 trillion economy. They see it more as a 1 billion plus democracy. They see it as an agile democracy, not as a fragile economy. Now, this has to continue. If we have become a Vishwa Guru in many aspects, then why not become a Vishwa Guru even in strengthening the democratic institutions? And no better time than now, especially in the 75th year of our Constitution celebration. While the government should listen to the opposition voice, and the opposition definitely should continue to listen to the counsel advice of the government. And with your kind permission, let me quote what Baba Sahib Ambedkar said when they thought about the parliamentary system. Chairman, sir, he said, to quote, "Where the parliamentary system prevails, the executive is held responsible on a daily and periodic basis. The daily assessment is done by members of parliament through questions, resolutions, and other debates. Period assessment is done by the electorate. The daily assessment and responsibility is far more effective and much more necessary in a country like India," unquote. Now this, we have seen it. This, all the honorable members have experienced. And to quote a small couple of examples, be it in the parliament or be it in the legislatures, the importance of every issue raised in the House. If a question is put, say something regarding a bridge in my Nizamabad district, it doesn't concern only a bridge of Nizamabad district when the question is answered here. When the question is admitted, Honorable Chairman, sir, the entire department gets active. The minister doesn't see on a day-to-day basis. The head of the department doesn't see the issue on a day-to-day basis. But when a parliament or a legislative question is posed, the entire bureaucracy gets alert. The matter gets settled. Along with it, so many issues get to be solved. So this is where a functioning of parliament not only lives to the true spirit, but it also helps the government on its functioning. It keeps the bureaucracy alert, and eventually the issues related to the people are solved. Today, the role of the parliamentary committees. The role of the parliamentary committees, sir, 17th Lok Sabha has functioned, has passed some historic legislations, but at the same time, when we see the kind of bills referred to the committees, much needs to be done on that regard. So today, I hope in the new beginning, today, the Honorable Prime Minister, when he comes and replies, definitely he will dwell on this subject. He will assure the chair that the Parliament will run and with the government cooperation, and the country will be proud if he says, "Ye Modi ki guarantee hai." Then definitely it will be very much appreciated, sir. The address also spoke about competitive and cooperative federalism. Now, in the changing scenario, competitive is well said, much needed, but provided it is taken up in letter and spirit. Chairman, sir, I come from the state which probably is a shining example for competitive federalism. We have set benchmarks. We have excelled in areas. And when we started, everybody felt that we will not survive for too long. Prophets of doom said it's a matter of time before they collapse. But today, Telangana, if I may quote, Chairman, sir, in every parameter set by Niti Aayog or by Government of India, we have excelled. For example, the Nari Shakti, empowering women. Telangana has become a role model in giving pensions to the old people, pensions to the BD lady workers, pensions to the destitute and single women, women reservation in local bodies, and in the very first session of the Telangana Assembly, we gave the reservation for women. As far as for the weaker sections, SC and ST, we started the Dalit Bandhu, which really empowers the weaker SC unemployed, the 10% reservation for STs, the forest land pattas, free power for ST colonies, made ST hamlets into Gram Panchayats, fund provisions for ST entrepreneurs, and Chairman, sir, we have created new districts. It is only not the Telangana state, which was our aspiration, but per capita governance was the key, and to deliver that. So just 2-3 minutes, I'll be done, sir. So Telangana should be a role model for the entire country, sir. Having said this, and finally, sir, I will come to the Election Commission. The Election Commission's performance, of course, we all congratulate them, but the fact is about the EVM. There have been certain apprehensions about the functioning of EVMs. The Election Commission is bounded by its commitment to ensure that whenever such issues, doubts come out, they should be free to open up it for discussion and ensure that the transparency is done. But what I would like to suggest here, only last line, sir, what I would like to suggest here is, earlier when ballot papers were there, the entire ballot papers were mixed. Entire constituency was mixed. So people had no idea कि कौन से गांव में किसने किधर वोट दिया. But today, the EVM specifies in a village, if there are about 2,000 voters, it says 1,000 voters, one EVM, 1,000 other. So this has to go. So for this, there was a recommendation, sir. There was a recommendation to solve this. There was a recommendation, sir, and the recommendation.
Ajit Madhav Rao Gopchade.
Sir, that recommendation may be kindly looked